What's going on, everybody? I'm John J. II, and I want to welcome you to the latest edition of Gin and Tonic, the 16th iteration of Gin and Tonic. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a great topic in store for you. So as everyone knows, the hometown team, Michigan State Spartans, are playing tonight against the Scarlet Red Knights of Rutgers. Now, they haven't played in a couple weeks since January 8th when they lost a barn burner to Purdue and the Boilermakers at the Breslin Center, 54-55, and some last-minute hijinks. That was kind of heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. If you were watching the game, I think my heart skipped a few beats watching it, and it made me want to never watch Michigan State basketball ever again. Good thing I had a couple weeks to kind of think about that, because when I didn't have Michigan State basketball to watch, I was getting a little bit lonely. I was getting a little bit, having the heebie-jeebies a little bit, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, especially I just got over my surgery recovery phase, so I'm kind of feeling good. I don't want any heebie-jeebie feelings to kind of stack up on top of that recovery stuff. It's a one step forward, two step back phenomenon. I want to avoid that at all costs. Anyways, so a couple players contracted COVID. Josh Langford and Steven Izzo, even he contracted it too, but also Mady Sissoko. Josh Langford and Sissoko are two pivotal players for the Michigan State basketball team. Steven Izzo, on the other hand, is more of a ornament. He is a player that is on the team because his dad's the coach. Obvious reasons there, but is a great addition to the team, and we couldn't imagine the team without him. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Nevertheless, these two players came in contact with a lot of their other players. So they all had to get tested. Good thing nobody else had it, but needless to say, we want to err on the side of caution whenever COVID is involved, and we're in the pandemic still, so we kind of got to play by the rules. Got to play by the rules and play by the regulations. So they don't want to worry about getting any other teams sick, any other players from other teams sick. But in doing so, they missed 3 pivotal games in their conference lineup for their rest of their conference games. They missed the game against Iowa, they missed the game against Indiana, and they missed the game against Illinois, the 3 I's in the Big Ten. So these are 3 games that, could have went either way. It might have actually played in Michigan State's benefit to not play these games just because they're kind of barn burner games. Okay, you look at Iowa, number 4th in the nation. Could easily lay the pounding on Michigan State being, wherever they are in the Big Ten standings. We won't name names, we won't name placeholders, but we all know they're close to the bottom of the standings. Now, I know everyone's looking forward to the Beeper Man wrapping a dog collar, shot collar around his nutsack to, essentially be shocked, literally and figuratively, once Illinois finishes on top of Michigan State in the Big Ten standings come the end of the year. So missing those 3 games really did not help the Beeper Man's cause at all. Just going to put that out there. Tony, put your braces on. Got to get ready for this one. You're going to have to take it in the nuts. It is what it is, and we can see it. We can go back to the tapes. It's on film. I think it's the second Gin tape video that Tony specifies that. So thank you, Tony, for making that bet. And surprisingly, he didn't make any other bet on the opposition to that if Michigan State was to finish on top of Illinois. So that kind of confused me a little bit, but I don't question his judgment. He knows what he's doing. He's a sportscaster guy, media guy, sports handicapper, better guy. Trust me, he knows what he's doing. And he obviously knows what he's doing with this bet proposition that he made earlier in the season. So we'll see how it pans out. Going forward, though, Tom Izzo needs to be focused on what this team is all about. What do they stand for? What are they fighting for? Are they fighting for anything? Do they want anything? Is anyone going to rise up to be a leader? We've seen a couple players kind of rise to the occasion in doing that. We've seen Foster Lawyer. We've seen Joshua Langford give us spurts of energy. But, we really don't know who it's going to be yet. We've seen glimmers of hope, but nothing monumental. We're looking for things monumental going into the big tournament. And you miss too many games from COVID, you might miss the big tournament. So you got to keep that in mind too, and keep things in your front view, because you got to keep things in perspective. That's just how you got to do things. You got to have a plan. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have some plan of attack. If you don't have that, then you might as well hang up the cleats, put the basketball shoes in a bin, and take them to Goodwill. because I'm sure there's kids that could use them more than you could. I'll leave it at that, though. Thank you guys for joining us on this edition of Gin and Tonic. I'm your host, as always, John J. II. Have a great night.